Thank you and welcome back. We're looking at how to make plurals from singular nouns. And we've discussed how you can fix bound morphemes to singular nouns to produce plural forms. And in our previous lesson, I mentioned that you can add S if your noun ends with any letter except S itself, Y, and O. Here, we're going to look at how else you can make plural forms of noun through affixation. You can add this bound morpheme. This is a bound morpheme. You can add es to your noun if the last letter of that noun is s or sh, ch, x, z, and o. So if you have your noun ending in any of these letters or letter, then you simply add es. You will simply add the morpheme es to that noun to form the plural. For example, you have mango. This ends with o. You will add es to mango to form the plural. Mangoes. Hero, potato, tomato, Negro. These all end with O as the last letter. So you just add ES to these words to form the plural form. How about this? Z or Z. Now, this is a bit unique. If your noun ends with this letter, if you want to make the plural form, you will add another Z to the word plus your ES. You're going to add another Z to the original one plus your ES to form the plural. So you're going to have double Z or double Z in the word. Quiz, for example, becomes quizzes because you're adding extra Z here. So you have this Z, you add to it, to the original one to form your plural. So if you add the Z, you will add your ES. Buzz, you have buzzes, so you add another Z to that plus your ES to form the plural. Fees, you will add extra C plus your ES to form the plural. What if the word itself has double Z? Good. If the word ends in double Z, then no problem. You simply add your ES as you have in jazz, have jazzes. But if the noun ends in just one Z, you will add another Z plus your ES to form the plural of that noun. I hope that makes sense. S. So if your noun ends in S as the last letter, you will add ES. How can that be? You have pass, passes, dress, dresses. You just add your ES and you form your plural. If it ends in SH, that will give you she. Then you have crashes. This is crashes. You have your lashes. If it ends in CH, if your noun ends in CH, you also add ES to form the plural. So you have churches, latches. If it ends in X, you will also add ES to form the plural. So you have foxes and boxes. So you will add ES if the noun ends in any of these letter or letters. And that will give you the plural form. Mango, mangoes, hero, heroes, potato, potatoes, tomato, tomatoes, negro, negroes, quizzes, buzzes, fizzes, jazzes, passes, dresses, churches, latches, crashes, lashes, foxes, and boxes. So once your noun ends in any of this letter, you will simply add as, except if it is the letter Z or Z. If it is Z, then you will add another Z to the original one plus your es to form your plural. All right? When are you going to use IES? Let's look at that quickly. You will add this bound morpheme, IES, to form a plural if the noun ends with letter Y preceded by a consonant. Okay, let's see that quickly. Let me take this out. Add ES if the last letter is Y, Y preceded by a consonant. If you have letter Y preceded by a consonant, then you add ES. For example, baby becomes babies. Now you will notice that the Y completely disappears here. So the Y becomes your I. So you have this. If the Y is preceded by a consonant, then you delete the Y, make it I, and then you add ES. So you have IES. Body, bodies, worry, worries, anxiety, anxieties, lorry, lorries, and so on and so forth. So if your Y is coming at the end, but the Y is preceded by a consonant, these are consonants. Consonants. You still remember your alphabet, A, B, C. In primary school, we're taught the 5 vowel sounds. So you can easily use the vowel sounds in your alphabet to help you know which is a consonant and which is a vowel. You can simply use this one, A, O, E, U, I. I think this is simple enough. A, O, E, U, I. These are your vowels. These are your letters that are vowels. So if you have these ones, they are vowels. Then the other letters, apart from these ones, are consonants. 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 These ones are vowels. The other ones, such as C, B, D, K, T, P, and all are consonants. So if your Y is coming at the end and there is a consonant coming before the Y, then you will simply delete the Y, make it I, then you will add your ES. Or you can simply just add your IES. But of course, you have to take away the Y. You don't have to leave the Y there. So you're not going to form your plural of carry. Oh no, say you have body. Yeah, this is body. Your plural of body will not be bodies. No, you don't do this. You will take away the Y. So you have body. You take away the Y, replace it with I. Okay, so that is it. If it ends with Y preceded by a consonant, then you take away the Y, replace it with I, then you will add your ES to form a plural. That is it. But if the word that comes before the Y is a vowel, any of these, then you will leave the Y, you simply add your S to it. Key, this is a vowel, then this is your Y, your plural then becomes keys. You will leave the Y and you will add an S to it. But if this letter rather, the letter here, if it is a consonant, if it is not a vowel, then you will take away the Y, replace it with I, and you will add ES to form your plural. There are also other words that have rare plurals rather. Some nouns that will form their plural by taking this morpheme, this one or this one. You find many old English words. Some of them still maintain this plural form, but they are not very common in modern English, so you're not likely going to see many of them. But let's see some few examples. Let's look at some few examples that you can find. Ox, for example, have ox. If you want to get a plural of ox, you have oxen, oxen, the plural. Child, you have child. You will add rn, so you have children, brother, you have brother. You can form the plural of brother by adding en, so you will have brethren. These are not very common words. You can have brothers. Yeah, you can have brothers instead of brethren. You can have brothers. This is the most common form of the plural brother. But you can have this, you can see this as well, especially in Old English. You can find these brethren. Children, child, singular, children, plural. Ox, singular, oxen, plural. So these are just the few words you can find, especially in Old English. They are not very common in modern usage, so you don't really need to worry about this, except for children. Children is still very much in common use. So children and oxen, you have your vowel morpheme en or ren, forming the plural. Okay, and then there are some other nouns that don't even take affix. There are some nouns that don't take affix at all. Instead, the change is internal. They kind of change their form completely. say man, man will change to men. So these ones don't take suffixes, or they don't take suffixes. Yes, they don't take bound morphemes at the end to form their plurals. Instead, there is an internal change. So we're going to look at all of the irregular nouns, those that don't take affixes to form their plurals, and how you can form plurals from such nouns. Okay, so that is it about affixation. Remember, affixation simply means the addition of bound morphemes to nouns to form their plural form. And one quality of nouns is that they can be singular or plural. There are other qualities of nouns, and we're going to look at all of those in our subsequent classes. Thank you. Don't forget to follow, to share, and to subscribe. That will be a big motivation for me. If you have questions, don't hesitate. You can put them in the comment section and I will address them as much as I can. Thank you.